Welcome to the data overview presentation for the Administrative Instructional Team from Gainesville High School. The primary focus for today's presentation is the rate of growth over a 3-year period of aggregate test scores in Proficiency Level 1, which is the does not meet category for 9th grade students who have taken end-of-course tests in Math 2, Coordinate Algebra, and Analytic Geometry. The data team has analyzed aggregate EOCT scores from 2011 through 2013. This data represents a 3-year period which includes 6 semesters. The data team has analyzed data in 3 proficiency levels. These levels are PL1, a student does not meet state standards in a content area, PL2, a student meets state standards in a content area, and PL3, a student exceeds state standards in a content area. Not only are we measuring against cohorts, but we are also measuring our proficiency levels against the rest of the state. We will also pay particular attention to the students who do not meet standards. Our first chart represents achievement levels for percentages of all 9th grade students taking an end-of-course test who have either met or exceeded standards in Math 2, American Literature, 9th grade Literature and Composition, Biology, and Economics. For viewing purposes, look at the graph colors in terms of a stoplight. Math 2 has the lowest percentage of students meeting or exceeding standards and is represented by red. American Literature has the highest percentage of students who have met or exceeded standards and is represented by green. 9th grade Lit and Composition, Biology, and Economics are represented by different shades of yellow since their achievement levels fall in the middle. As we shift our attention to students not meeting standards for EOCT assessments, our primary focus is in the mathematical content area. All 3 domains, Coordinate Algebra, Analytic Geometry, and Math 2, show a disproportionate percentage of students not meeting state standards compared to other content areas for 9th grade students. The remainder of this presentation will focus on those 3 courses. Data analyzed for Math 2 EOCT scores show an increase in the percentage of students who do not meet standards for the Math 2 curriculum from year 1 to year 3 of the analysis. As an example, for the first semester in year 3, 277 students took the Math 2 end-of-course test. Just over 42% of those students scored in Proficiency Level 1, which does not meet standards. Data for the second semester shows 89 students took the test, and just over 70% of those students did not meet standards. As you can see on this bar graph, data for the Math 2 proficiency levels show for the first 3 semesters of our analysis, the percentage of students who do not meet standards increases from 37% to almost 45%. The percentage decreases for the second semester of 2012, but then increases for 2 consecutive semesters. Just as important is that the percentage of students that exceed standards decreases over the same time period. As we compare the percentage of students who do not meet standards to the rest of the state, you can see slight variations for each semester. Over this 3-year period, data shows an average of 44.8% of our students do not meet standards, while 43.6% of students across the state do not meet standards. As we transition our analysis into the Coordinate Algebra domain, this end-of-course test was not administered until the first semester of 2012. The state did not start tracking data until the second semester of the same year. Regardless, the percentage of our students who did not meet standards increased from 51% in 2012 to 65% in 2013. As we continue to examine data for cohorts, another troubling sign for Coordinate Algebra is that the percentage of students who met standards decreased from 37% to 26%. Over time, we would expect that a decrease in the percentage of students who met standards would shift and increase the percentage of students who exceeded standards. For example, between second semester 2012 and first semester 2013, we experienced a decrease in the number of students meeting standards by 7%. We would expect some of those students to score in the exceed standards range. However, those percentages decreased by 7%. This means that the percentage of students meeting standards dropped into the does not meet standards proficiency level. Compared to the state, our students reflect the state average for percentage of students not meeting standards in coordinate algebra. EOCTs for analytic geometry were not administered until year 3 of our analysis. The data for this course is important because it follows our first cohort that took coordinate algebra in 2012. However, at this time, we've been unable to accurately assess the cohorts from coordinate algebra to analytic geometry because some of the students who took coordinate algebra in year 2 took the analytic geometry EOCT in different semesters of year 3. As you can see in this bar graph, the percentage of students not meeting standards decreased by 27% from first semester of 2013 to second semester. More importantly, the percentage of students meeting standards increased by 23%, and the percentage of students exceeding standards increased by 4.5%. The percentage of our students who do not meet standards for analytic geometry reflect proficiency levels for the rest of the state. As we close this presentation, the following benchmarks have been established for academic year 2014 through 2015 for coordinate algebra and analytic geometry. Our target for students meeting or exceeding standards is 50%. As you can see, we are well below this level in both domains. In order to reach these goals, we must develop a plan of action to address student learning needs. Essential questions that must be answered are: what instructional strategies will we implement to achieve our goal? What outcomes do we expect to achieve along the way? And how will we know if we've met our outcomes and achieved our goal?